Ka tangi te titi, ka tangi te kaka, ka tangi hoki ahau, te hau mori ora. First, let me acknowledge you all that have graduated today and received diplomas. Let me also acknowledge your whānau, your supporters here, elsewhere, supporters from the past, and perhaps even those in the future that might be watching this, not being able to be with us today. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, friends, thank you for the honour of the degree you've bestowed upon me today and for the opportunity to give this graduation address. I will follow tradition and convey a single message for you to take away with you today, illustrated with some examples from my own experience, as the sextet put it, sliding down the razor blade of life. What are the things that have inspired me? Mostly it's people, but not exclusively. But let's start with the people. Firstly, family. Many of my close family are here today, and I want to say to you publicly that you inspire me with your unconditional love, your tolerance, your intelligence, your talents, and your joy for life. But I want to make a special shout out to my parents and wife for a quality you demonstrate that particularly inspires me: your inbuilt and instinctive ability to serve others. From baking for fundraisers to giving blood, unseen administration, or, in the case of Mum and Dad, delivering Meals on Wheels for more than 50 years, actually I think it's more than 55 years, your freely given service has shown me that whatever privileges we have in life should be honoured through an obligation to serve others whenever we are able. Thank you. Secondly, and also in the spirit of service, I am regularly inspired by those who serve us. Be it co-workers on a project or those that serve us in other ways, such service can be equally inspiring. Think, for example, about those who have set up and run this graduation for us today. Amazing, inspiring. There are jobs that I am sure that I would have found creative ways to get wrong if I'd been given the responsibility, perhaps resulting in every one of you getting someone else's graduation certificate. So thank you to all the staff for your service today. I'd ask you also to think and be inspired by the talents of those that will serve you this evening when you go somewhere to celebrate. Be grateful, be thankful. Thirdly, leaders. For me, the genuine and compassionate leadership of Jacinda Ardern and those around her during some of the darkest days we've known was truly inspirational. Quote, "Be kind, follow the rules. Great and visible leadership is inspiring." But I am also inspired by people who know how to be led. When you have people that look to you for leadership, you should take time to notice those that respond well, taking initiative without the need for close supervision. They are the leaders of the future. For academics, those that most regularly look to us for leadership are students. And our students never fail to inspire us. Your graduation here today is a testament to that inspiration, so congratulations again. I want to particularly acknowledge here two of my former PhD students, as we get special inspiration through supervising research. Dr. Cherie McNabb, my first PhD student, took on a project that was very ambitious and poorly conceived by me, but succeeded in spite of this. She went on to be hired by IBM to work at their Yorktown Heights research laboratories in the USA. My dream job as a young physicist, where she flourished. And I also want to acknowledge Dr. Cheng Sai Tian, my final PhD student who has graduated here with you today. Cheng Sai, you too have inspired me with your tenacity to stay true to your studies through different hardships and changes of direction. And I know that you have a stunning career ahead of you also. And I know that all of you graduating here today will have inspired in one way or another something amongst your teachers at some point in your degrees. So thank you for your inspiration also. Which brings me to my next source of inspiration, vocational heroes. Whatever you end up pursuing as a vocation, be it related to your degree or to sporting, creative, cultural or family activities, find inspiration from those that have gone before and have achieved great things. I want to tell you a story today about one of my vocational heroes, a physicist called Shuji Nakamura, who helped change the world. I met Shuji at a conference once in Japan in the 1990s, but did not know him personally. But he inspired me by what he achieved and how he achieved it. Shuji's story goes like this. He was employed by a Japanese company called the Nichiya Chemical Company, based in a regional area. The company made phosphors that went into cathode ray televisions, the type that were in every household when I grew up. These TVs were bulky and power hungry, but there weren't any real alternative. Flat panel displays weren't feasible then, as while LEDs, or light-emitting diodes, had been around since the 70s, they came only in a couple or three colours, red and green or orange if you were lucky. To get full-colour flat panel displays required a breakthrough, which sounded simple, namely perfecting the blue LED. Many had tried, and Nichiya employed Shuji Nakamura to see what he could do. For many years, Shuji worked on the problem without much visible success. He was particularly interested in a material called gallium nitride that had the right basic properties, but just faced a few technical problems. Firstly, no one had ever been able to make a diode out of gallium nitride. And secondly, the material was so poor, it would surely never efficiently emit light. So for an LED, that was pretty fundamental. No light, no emission, no diode. But Shuji kept beavering away. Every year he would discuss progress with the company founder, who liked him. He would tell him about the new machines he was making and how he was getting closer to making a diode. And he would be given enough money to run his lab for another year. But then the founder retired and the company passed to his son-in-law. The son-in-law had good business experience and could immediately see that Shuji's lab was a drain on resources. He didn't really understand what Shuji was working on, but brought in an expert from the mainland to see what could be salvaged. This expert worked for a major company that thought Shuji's quest for a blue LED was foolish. But they knew that mobile phones were becoming the next big thing, and that these needed specialised diodes and transistors that Shuji should be asked to work on. So the son-in-law took the expert's advice and called Shuji into his office. He explained what the expert advised and instructed Shuji to redirect his efforts towards mobile phone devices. Shuji was a good company man and could not disagree with his boss, so he nodded an understanding at the advice, and he nodded an understanding at his new instructions, and he went back to his lab, where he continued to work on blue LEDs. Soon afterwards, he made the breakthroughs that allowed these LEDs to be made with good efficiency, which made the company very rich. At the conference in Japan when I heard Shuji talk, he was presenting some of these results pretty much for the first time, which was very inspiring. Also inspiring was that he did not simply talk about his results, but he demonstrated them in his own showman-like way by using his own homemade blue laser pointer. Shuji's breakthroughs were truly world-changing, and not for just allowing us to all have flat-screen TVs. They also led to a revolution in lighting, as with an efficient blue LED comes the ability to efficiently produce white light, using around 70% energy than the old-school light bulbs, which is why, thanks to Shuji, we use LED lighting everywhere now, saving millions of tons of CO2 emissions annually. And for his discoveries, Shuji Nakamura was awarded the 2014 Nobel Prize in Physics, which to me is very inspiring. Finally, it's not all about people. So be inspired by the world we live in as well. Every week I go for a bike ride with friends to relax, and every week I'm inspired by the world around me. From a sunrise over the Otago Peninsula to the sounds of native birds, this grounds me for the challenges of the week ahead. Ka tangi te titi, ka tangi te kaka, ka tangi hoki a hao te he moriora. Listen to the cry of the birds in the ocean. Listen to the cry of the birds in the forest. Listen to your own cry, behold the breath of life. I hope that you too can be inspired by the beauty of nature, wherever it may be. And with that, my time is up and celebrations await. Be inspired. Be inspired by your family and your friends, by those that serve others and those that serve you. Be inspired by colleagues, your leaders, and those that you have the privilege to lead. Be inspired by those you teach. Be inspired by heroes in your chosen vocations. And most importantly, be inspired by the world we all share. It's the only one we've got. Thank you, congratulations, and go well. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.